Hello everybody, in this video we are going to be taking a look at scenario west of the alternative future of the world. This is my second video I recorded today because I did a Minecraft video earlier. Yeah, I got iron armor finally. And yeah, I made an iron farm. But we're talking about mapping right now. Before I say what happened last video, I got the ideology map up from the regular map. Anyways, in the last video, I think that happened in the one before. We saw Russia expand a lot, actually reforming and becoming the USSR. In fact, if I can find the rankings there. They are now the Union of it's Soviet Socialist, not Socialist Soviet. I always get it mixed up, which is why I actually put that there. But yeah. Also, good job, Poland. Ooh, why did I get a... Oh. Decent. I get a line in something. Sorry. Got DM. Anyways. In the last video, we saw Ukraine left what is essentially NATO. Because they were like, Russia is in a peaceful time. They're not going to... And then they instantly got invaded. Belarus split off from them, and Ukraine is now small. And they joined in on the Lime Alliance. Or like the Tennis Ball Alliance, because that's roughly what this color is. It's like a yellowish color. Anyways, apart from that, they also ended up invading Kazakhstan. And this is still blue. That's a bit bad. I didn't mean for it to still be blue. But apart from invading Kazakhstan, they also ended up invading Mongolia with China, which now means that they have both gained a decent bit of land. So good for you. But going away from that, we're going to be seeing the first thing of this video. But if you guys like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. Let's get on with this. We are going to be seeing something that's not necessarily that important for now. As if we go over to here, we're going to be seeing some provinces get made. Because I don't like that there's no provinces here, except like the main little area. So, yeah. Xinjiang and Tibet are going to be creating provinces. So, yeah. Not large provinces, but provinces, I mean, not small provinces, pretty large provinces, but provinces nonetheless. So, yeah. Provinces. Anyways, going away from that, we are going to be going over to Europe. Because we are going to be seeing some more unifications take place, as in the last video we saw a few take place, such as the Union of the Alps, and I think that's it. But if we go over to here, we are going to be seeing our first union be the Union of the Baltics, which will be formed between Lithuania and Estonia, which means that I will have to be getting rid of this wondrous line. And by that, I mean I'm actually going to have to be adding in a line, because this is where there's nothing, so there we go. Regarding capitals, it will be in the Estonian capital, which I sadly don't know the name of. I believe it's... Actually, let me Google it. I think I know what it is, but I don't want to be wrong. Tallinn, I got it wrong. I was thinking of it. I think I was thinking of a different Baltic capital. But yeah, these guys are now one nation. And regarding their ideology, they're both democratic, so it doesn't really matter. So yeah, there we go. Going away from this, we are going to be seeing another unification take place. And if I can find this, here we go. It is actually not going to be here, but instead in here, as we are going to be seeing a union, I cannot English today, between Chechnya and Georgia take place. So, let me just get rid of this wondrous line. I did it wrong, but let's get rid of this wondrous line. Which means we're also going to be getting rid of this wondrous line. I know I gave Chechnya a capital. Yeah, they're on basically the same, like, I don't remember, but they're on the same horizontal line. I'm going to say that they're probably going to put their capital over here. And regarding ideology, I actually gave them an ideology. Yeah, they're still going to be a democratic nation. So there we go. And the last unification for now is actually going to be over here, as these three nations having, like I was going to say having unique ideologies. They aren't unique. Having the same ideology, wait, I thought your capital was up here. What? It won't matter. Your capital's not going to be up there in a sec. But yeah, as we can see, capital. Not capital, nation. But where's their capital going to be? It's going to be, actually, do they have? No, they don't. But yeah, these guys are going to be just putting it in the center of their nation. So that's a bit less, that's a few less nations we have, being one less up here, one less over here, and lastly, two less over here. Which means we have 4 less nations. So, yeah, that's pretty neat. Yeah. I basically only planned one event out for this episode, so yeah, you're gonna have to bear with me. Anyways, going down to South Africa, well, actually no, staying in Africa, not South Africa, we're gonna be seeing the Second Western Saharan War. I mean, the Second West African War. And we are going to be seeing us between Nigeria, you, and you're going to be invading these 3. But because they don't want a repeat of last time, these 2 nations are going to join. And I know they probably weren't on the same side last time, but be honest, that's kind of how the Balkan Wars worked. So yeah, but let's get on with this. Nigeria, being the ever strong nation they are, in fact, these 2 are actually allies. Being the ever strong nation they are, they're going to be able to quickly just pummel this nation. I believe the Ivory Coast. And in fact, they lose basically all their land except the capital regions. And even that's a bit of a stretch because they are about to lose that as well. So yeah, go away from that. Yeah. But surprisingly enough, these 2 tiny nations, while these guys are distracted down here, they actually are able to make a surprising push throughout these guys, in fact taking just the whole of their nation. And why is that? Nigeria is mainly focused on over here, which is going badly. I'm joking, it's going well. But for some reason they can't invade. But going away from that, this nation is going to get occupied. But actually, let me make it look a bit more realistic, because I feel like these guys would definitely still have control of some of their nation. In fact, it's probably going to look something like this. So yeah. But that's when the third party of Mauritania is going to be joining on their own side. And this is going to be against the blue team. And yeah, they're dead. Be honest, they can't really survive this. The 2-front war is already bad enough, but when it's like a surprise, that's also really bad. So these guys are going to fall. All forces in this nation are going to get kicked out. And then, actually, let me just slightly brighten this. Yeah, that's a little easier to tell. And not only have they just lost all their forces in that nation, they have just lost their nation. So yeah, that's the end of the Second West African War. And, oh yeah, I forgot about you. You know, let's just say that you get to live, because I'm feeling kind. So yeah. Oh, they don't have an LC, good to know. But yeah, let me get to making these borders. That took at most a minute. But yeah, let's see what these are gonna look like. That's if I make everything back to the base color. So there we go. We can see that there's a lot of lines. Let's see what these lines mean. Nigeria is going to be annexing all of this. That's right, this nation still gets to exist. In fact, let me just... there we go. We are going to be seeing this nation. It was them, right? Yep, it was them. This nation is going to be annexing this, this, and all of this, looking like this, as well as annexing these areas, annexing the entirety of, I believe, Guinea-Bissau. I think I've said this before, I don't really know my West African nations. I know Nigeria, I think Benin, Togo, and that's about it. And that's like on the actual coast, like just these nations. I can name like the Saharan ones. I can name like every nation like up here. I can name. Over here, I struggle. Down here, I'm kind of fine with. But yeah, it's only really West Africa that I struggle with. But oh well. Going away from that, we are going to be seeing these guys annex this, which now means that I have a lot of capitals to get rid of. Which is a problem because I forgot what nation, where these guys were. Let me just take a good old look. Okay, they're this one. Which means get rid of this cap. I'm on the wrong layer. Get rid of this capital, and this capital, as well as this capital. Which also means I have to get rid of the ideologies. So, here we go. And regarding this, I just have to move it down a bit. So there we go. That's the ideologies done, and I believe Mali's in an alliance. No, not Mali, Mauritania. Yep, they're in an alliance. Which means I now just have to know. Which means I now just have to grab this. No, grab this color, and there we go. So yeah. Now let's go on to the main thing that I want to do, the expansion of some alliances. The first expansion we're going to be seeing is the expansion of what is essentially NATO, but the world. And they are going to be adding South Africa, Namibia. They are going to be adding New Zealand. So ignore the fact that none of these nations have seas. This map didn't have seas for them. Indonesia is going to be joining, so they have a lot of cities over here. So, in fact, let me just... I guess technically an epilepsy warning, I think, because I forgot how bad this gets. So yeah, there's your warning for an epilepsy warning. Yeah, this does actually hurt my eye. I think it's good that I did a warning. But yeah, we are going to be seeing Indonesia joining on this alliance. So in fact, let me just do this. There we go. New Zealand's going to be joining. Namibia and South Africa are going to be joining. And lastly, this tiny nation is going to be joining. So yeah. Going away from this though, we are going to be seeing a war take place. I may have alluded to it before, but Russia and China are going to be going at it again. But this time, these two are getting invaded. Now, look, they aren't in an alliance, as you can tell. And that means they're a bit dead. So yeah, let's see how this is going to be going. Because I can guarantee you that... Oh, never mind. It's not going to be a long war. Yeah, but I'm actually going to show you what the war looks like. Although it's probably going to go very quickly. Chinese and Russian forces are going to very quickly take like the majority of over here. In fact, the capital will probably fall first. What am I doing? Yeah, majority of Xinjiang ends up falling, as well as Tibet. But Tibet's very mountainous and may have some help from India, who I believe is the second strongest nation. Yep. I don't know why I made France third. I feel like other nations should be third, but yeah. And I'm going to be honest, these guys are not surviving much longer. So now, let's see what these borders are going to look like. Lay borders. So yeah, these borders are done. And I did have to add a couple more provinces. But who cares? Now let's see what this is going to look like. China is going to be annexing this from Xinjiang. This... I cannot get this border. This from Xinjiang. Russia is going to be annexing Xinjiang. not a part of it, just the entire area. Good job, you lost like 3.5 nations, 3.5 episodes. So China looks like they just got hit in the head by a cartoon hammer. And Tibet, China is going to be, I think, yeah, I feel like I need to redo that. China is going to be annexing this part of Tibet. And surprisingly enough, Russia is going to be annexing some of Tibet. And now Russia borders Nepal. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm joking. That's not going to be happening. Like, they could realistically do that if they wanted. And, like, who's going to stop them except for the Indian alliance? But yeah. Going away from that, I'm going to need to get rid of capitals. Luckily, there are literally only 2 capitals over here, so that's not going to be that hard. There we go. But yeah, going away from this, we're going to be seeing something happen. And if we go onto this layer, I'm going to have to fix this. So just bear with me for a sec. Bing, bap, and boom. There we go. We're going to be seeing a unification take place. And it's going to cause for the... Actually, no, it's not going to cause for the dissolvement of this alliance. But it will nearly, because there's basically no point for it. But it will be a unification between India, Nepal, because Nepal is feeling very threatened from Russia, Bhutan. Let me shrink this brush a bit. Bhutan. And lastly, Bangladesh. So here we... Let me shrink this brush a bit. Here we go. And you might be wondering, oh yeah, I forgot about this layer. But you might be wondering, how is that going to nearly cause the dissolvement of the of the Indian-led alliance? I still haven't actually thought of a name for it, which is a bit annoying. So yeah, let me just do this, and I will tell you, because I just need to get rid of these borders real quick. Did I get rid of the border down here? I did. But I'll tell you why it nearly causes the dissolvement of this alliance. There's 3 nations in it left. Being India, or in the actual part of it, not the member program, or partner program, whatever I call it. Being India, Sri Lanka, and Myanmar. In fact, a lot of nations, all the nations that are part of the partner program are going to be leaving. And they're going to be joining in certain alliances. If I colour in all of the nations, I think, that were in it, and I colour them like this, because that's actually all of them, we are going to be seeing, what do you call it? Somaliland, and also this island, because Somaliland owns it now. They're going to be joining in on this alliance. We are going to be also seeing just the rest are going to be joining this alliance. So there we go. And that is therefore leading to the expansion of 2 external alliances. Good job, India. You did this yourself. Yeah. Going away from that though, how long are we into this video? 18 minutes. I'm sure I can squeeze another event into this if I do the main event, because there's going to be a very, very big event. And do you want to know how big the event is? It is bigger than a big shot who wears these coloured glasses. Or are they swapped? I don't know. It's either pink on the right or yellow on the right. I don't know. It's one of the 2. But yeah, it's a pretty big event. Anyways, let's do the last non-major event. And the non-major event is going to be a unification, which is still pretty major, but not the most major. And this is going to be a unification between the USSR and China. I'm joking, but that's a pretty large nation now I think about it. I am joking, don't worry. It's actually between Turkmenistan and Russia, and it's a peaceful unification this time. Good job, Russia. You didn't completely ruin a nation. I'm so proud of you. But yeah. And going away from the alliance layer, because I'm going to need to fix this. We are going to also be seeing the unification here. Also, I just realized it's a good thing that I didn't get rid of the ideologies last time, because there'd be a point for me coming back to this layer. But let me just get rid of this capital. And now I can do the ideologies. The only ideology, I should say, the only ideology that really matters here is India's and Russia's. Oh, and China's. So there we go. I think everything's up to date. Yeah, everything's up to date. So yeah, that is the main events. Oh, the events, not the main event. Because we're going to be seeing something take place. If I grab the rankings layer and I compare, and I just quickly doodle what alliance they're all a part of. The USSR is a part of the Red Alliance. So is China. And that's it. Going to the Blue Alliance. France is a part of it. And so is Turkey and Poland. Regarding nations that aren't in an alliance, it is mainly only Nigeria. Oh god, I made the sideways French flag. Regarding the Purple Alliance, the US. And regarding the other two alliances, Japan and Korea in one, and India has their own. But let me show you something. France is the third strongest nation, Turkey and Poland are also in the top 10, USSR is the strongest nation, and China is the 7th strongest. How do you think these two would go up against each other in a war? The red and the blues. How about we see? Because something is going to be taking place. On the 19th of August, 2064. No, I feel like that would be before episode 3. On the 19th of August, 2071, something is going to be taking place. And it is going to be taking place on the Russian-Belarusian border. In fact, let me just color in all these islands, because this war is going to be taking place in the next episode too. So let me just grab these islands. So there we go. But it's going to be taking place on the Russian-Belarusian border and the Baltic border. And what is going to be taking place is a very quick operation. And this operation, I don't know what to call it, so let's just call it Operation Blood, because red is blood and blue is blood in other animals. But this operation very quickly takes the capital, assassinates the leader, and that's it. They just assassinate the leader. But, look, red nations, blue nations, red alliance, blue alliance. Hey, you messed up big time. So yeah, these guys may have just screwed up. Which means, these blue guys are now kind of at war with the red guys. So there we go. I did it wrong. Oh, I did it wrong as well. Blue guys. Blue guys. Alliance. Blue guys. These guys are now all at war with these guys. But it's not just them. As we are going to be seeing the entirety of the Chinese Russo the Axis, whatever you want to call it. They are also going to be joining in on the call to arms for the Chinese/Russian side. And it'll be looking like this. And I'm going to not welcome you to World War III just yet, because this isn't World War III at its peak. As other nations are going to start to join on their own accord. We are going to see Venezuela join on their own accord. Texas is going to join on their own accord. I lied, it's the US. But they're going to be joining on their own side. I lied, they're joining on the red side. That's right, buddies again. We are going to be seeing, surprisingly enough, these guys join. Wait, is that? Never mind, not them. We are going to be seeing this nation join, as well as this one. And that will cause these two to join. We are going to be seeing a certain nation join, which is just going to completely spiral everything out of control. Nigeria is going to join on the blue team, which will cause you to join on the red team. I mean, the red team, sorry. You on the red team, you on the red team, which will cause other nations to join on their alliances, such as you on the blue team, you two on the blue team. You will join on the blue team as well as you, which will end up causing you to be on the red team, which will then end up causing you to be on the blue team because you hate them, as well as you and you. You're going to join to try and survive. Going over to Europe, we are going to be seeing Italy join on the red team, which will then cause these guys to join on the blue team, as well as these guys. Italy is dead. Just face it. England is going to be joining on the blue team. Ukraine as well. And lastly, we're going to be talking about the East Asian theatre, where South China, India, Myanmar, sorry, Sri Lanka, Japan, Japan, both Koreas, Taiwan, Borneo, and Brunei, and the Philippines are all going to be joining on the blue side. So there we go. Yeah, that's a pretty decently sized world war. And unlike most of my world wars, we actually have a front everywhere, not just one major front. We have a West African war. The third West African war, let's go. We have a South American front, as well as a North American one. We have 2 European fronts, a Middle Eastern front, a South Asian front, another Asian front, and lastly, New Zealand. So yeah, this is a pretty large thing. So if you guys want to see this, then don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm going to do it anyways, but I still want you to subscribe. I want to one day be able to get monetized. Yeah, I want to get monetized. Anyways, don't go yet, because it's time for the daily thing of the day. That's right, it's their time to shine. So, let's get on with this. China, after 2026, we saw a few things happen. After we saw the US finalize their invasion of Venezuela, I already talked about that in the last episode, and Russia finalized their invasion of Ukraine, as well as their unionization with Belarus, we saw them decide to take on their own expansionist route, taking on nations south of them, such as Vietnam, and just other southeastern nations, not fully annexing all of them. In fact, let me give them their own color real quick. Let me give them a gold color. They not only annexed their own nation, they not only annexed just what they currently had, but ignore that. They annexed Taiwan. They annexed Vietnam and other lands down here. And they made these lands into a puppet government. So there we go. In fact, let me make that look a little neater. They annexed well, they already had that. They annexed Taiwan proper. They made these guys into a puppet. In fact, no. They made these guys into a partner state. So there we go. We saw these two get made into a puppet state. This one got annexed. In fact, no, these two got annexed. This one was made into a puppet state. This one was made into an ally. Then we saw them unite with North Korea. And then during World War III, we saw them manage to fully wipe out the Eastern Asian theatre, which contained South Korea and Japan. They invaded and annexed the Philippines. They basically just did what Imperial Japan did. Wait, no, this is World War IV, not World War III, I'm dumb. So yeah, they basically just pulled in Imperial Japan. But after that, it all came crashing down, and they were very limited in what they had. So yeah, going from having a gigantic, East Asian empire, down to not even having all of China, as Tibet and Xinjiang was split off, South China was split off, so was Taiwan, and they had and they had guaranteed independence. And that's where we go to today, as in the year, I'd say like 2064, they annexed these sections of Mongolia. I don't remember if I said what day it happened or roughly what time. Then they also had their alliance between the former losers of World War III, and yeah, that's where we are today, in the middle of World War III. I mean World War IV. Who am I going to do next? I don't know. I'll just talk about Europe as a whole, I guess. Who cares about talking about individual nations? We basically only have 3 main people. Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna go now because I'm actually gonna get a bit of sleep because I'm going out tomorrow with my friends. Yay, I have friends. Anyways, goodbye.